Hello. I just saw a video on it was a Malayalam video, and it was by someone named Samuel Kudal, an old person uh, who is just talking about Jesus Christ and how exposing a lot of things about the latest myths and the latest developments that humans have done in the name of so-called religion. So I was very happy to hear it because this is what I have been talking to the people I know very strongly about Jesus Christ. He was not what he is taken to be, and my master speaks so in so much of clarity about him. So I was just happy to see that this person was referring to Jesus as Avdhuta. So, and he was talking in Malayalam, and he said this Avdut was sent by the divine to establish a different kingdom, and that is what the kingdom means there. And people have established some other kingdom in the name of religion. Well, what I'm talking about is not just about Christianity, it's just about all the new modern man-made stuff in the name of God. So I'm just happy because from childhood I have had this very strong, very strong thing that everything is one, and we belong to just one race, that is the humanity. Just from very as as little as 8 years or 9 years of age, I've had this yearning to see the truth of life. And as I grew up, I have always been more on it, but I didn't know I would be literally working very deeply on it. Today I am on all levels working on it. Maybe not very physically outside, but in a lot of ways I am trying to contribute my role in this. Well, because we cannot go very die hard with any new thing that we that comes to our mind, because of the contradictions that can happen, and because not everybody is conscious enough to understand what the actual meaning of certain things are. That is why everybody walks carefully. But then there are so many people out there who are just boldly talking out so many things because they don't care about anything, and that confidence and strength comes from the inner connectivity. So I'm just happy to see that there are so many awakened souls. And as even my master said long back, 2012 to 2028, there's a big transition that's happening, and this is where the carbonized cell structures is turning crystalline. The body is the carbonized body is actually turning itself into crystalline, and crystalline means more of light, and carbonized means more of gross stuff. So that's happening on a practical level. We can see it almost at all level, these things happening, and very strongly and powerfully these things are happening, be it even in our minds, in our daily lives, in the things that we see around. The awakening is so fast. That is what I was telling my friends just a couple of weeks back, that I won't be surprised to see a new world, completely new world in the next 10 years, because the pace with which the earth consciousness is rising and the people are awakening is astounding. It might seem a little funny right now to even speak this, but I know if I just play this video 10 years later, it will be all boomed. We are going to practically live in a different world. Now, this is not something that I'm claiming or something. Who am I to claim? But this is just the common sense, and probably some of the consciousness, that's inner consciousness, that's working and revealing certain things as to how it's going to be. So it looks very promising, because of the rapid rate of transformation that's happening at all levels and across all religions. All the damn old stuff is just dying away, or it's struggling itself to keep itself alive, but I'm sure it will just collapse. That is why most of the world systems, the banking, the finance, the governments, everything is just collapsing, and nobody knows what's happening. The structure of the world is changing. I mean, even the food things, the contamination is happening, and so many things. People are bothered about what will people eat tomorrow. We ourselves are bothered. What are we going to eat tomorrow? If isme chemical hai, usme chemical hai, everything has got chemical, there is nothing left. What are we going to eat? So everybody is in a concerned state, but whereas I was looking very closely at it, and I was sensing that it is not actually a concerned state. It's something that is more opportunistic, because we do not know how the earth is transitioning. We do not know the higher levels of workings, and the higher level doesn't disappoint anybody. It's just working towards progress. It is going upwards. It is just transversing everything, and when it is doing that, it is breaking all the crap just out, and we are trying to make sense out of the crap. We won't, because we are thinking at that level. But the universal consciousness or God consciousness is working on a very beautiful level. It's just purifying everything. It's just cleansing out all the bad stuff, and that's what gives a pleasant hope. Because even in the food problems, if you see what food problems we are seeing, I don't see it as a problem, because this is exactly and precisely the time when, in the past 2 years, my body has become very conscious about my body, my eating habits. Not just me, it's everybody. You see around, everybody, people are going raw and vegans, and they are learning to live on water. They are becoming liquidarian. They are becoming breatharians. Breatharians is only breathing. They live on breath. There are people who live on just light raw foods. And there are people who live on just liquids, juices, and even plain water. And there are people who live on nothing. That is what Shiva Yogis are heading towards. That is the immortals and the light. Living on light. So living on light has been prevalent all across the globe. If you see, in the past 2 years, there has been a big rise of people who are very conscious about what they eat and how they eat, and what they should eat and what they should not, and how the body, what they eat, how it affects their body, mind, and emotions. So they are very conscious now, and people are now, the children that are being born with this ability. I am amused and shocked to see this, because there are children who do not eat or eat very little. I mean, it is coming from birth itself. So the new generation, the new kind of rejuvenation that's happening, the regeneration of our body, restructuring of our body is already happening, and that is showing up in the genes. It's showing up in the new souls that are arriving. That's why I'm saying the 10 years, it's going to be something different. We don't have to wait for even 50 years or 100 years. Just the 10 years, because you can see the rapid rate of growth, rapid rate of transition that's happening. Why 10 years ahead? Just take 10 years back. What were you and me? You did not, probably most of you did not even catch the mobile in your hands. Just 10 years back. And 10 years back, you must have never even thought that right now we could be communicating something like this, or you're doing so many advanced things on the internet. Never ever it was in the imagination also, because it was something like unbelievable. How is this possible? Just 10 to 15 years back, 20 years back, this was a taboo. Telling someone that you can look at each other's face and talk was something, because I existed in those eras also, when there was that no telephones also. Forget mobiles, no telephones also. I've lived in that kind of a time when there were telegrams, and before telegram times also I've witnessed it. So I know what we used to talk then, what our parents used to talk, what our people used to talk around, and they used to tell at that time, oh my God, people are talking from this end to that, and this is a possibility, and in USA somebody has done it, and today, just damn, 15 years and we are ourselves in that technology. So you can see the rapid growth that has happened, and at this rate only, the coming ahead 10 years is going to be amazing. It wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of self-realized souls also walking around, and it's like the golden era is already arriving. You can see signs and symptoms of it. It's already happening. Why in the world? Just look at your body. It's doing all damn things to your body. what you used to eat before, अभी पछता नहीं है. You cannot digest the same thing. You cannot live the life you were living before. Freak out करके, you can't do that. I mean, if you just become conscious, I'm not talking about the people who are not conscious. If you just, that awareness aa gayi, then automatically your body will start rejecting all these things. Your mind will start rejecting all these things. And in this period, what happens is we go through this soul, dark night of the soul, it is called. I am very used to this phrase because I have had a very dark night of the soul for almost years together. Now the people are lucky because of the ease in transition, and the energies that are working are beautiful. But in those times it was very difficult, and those days, like 20 years back and all, I didn't have a master, I didn't have a path, and so it was very difficult. Everything was based on our understanding, so that was a little difficult to talk about that way. So something just excited me. I said I should record this before I lose this and send it to my dear ones. But if I'm sending it to my dear ones, I thought I'll just upload it to my channel also, so that in case somebody is interested to listen to this kind of stuff, they can just log in. Because I know, I am 100% sure this is happening to you also. What I said is all happening to you also, because we are all one. That is where the conviction is coming from. We are all one, and everything that is happening to you is happening to me, is happening to everyone. That's how we are connected. That is how, when we manifest anything in the world, anywhere, if there is suffering anywhere, like our master says, if there is some part of the world somebody is suffering, it will pinch me also, because I am part of the universal consciousness. And this proves it. This is proving everything in that manner. So I thought I was too excited by this message, but I think it's a nice message, and it will just kindle or rekindle some flame of hope that we are heading towards somewhere, even though the things are little challenging and all that stuff. But still, I feel we can get through it. So with a lot of divine love and light, stay blessed.